Hello, it's Nikki. How you doing? Welcome back. Or if you're just discovering these videos for the first time, welcome. I am thrilled to have you. So today I want to talk about something that is in my sight at the moment. And there are so many principles in this very visual example that you can apply to your goals. I really want to be able to do a yoga headstand. This is the plan. This is the plan to be able to do it. And it's really interesting for me because I didn't really think about this before I turned 41, but now I just keep seeing them everywhere. And I think this happens a lot. Suddenly, once you start thinking about something, you just see the possibilities around you. And one of the things that happens in my yoga class is there are quite a few very experienced yogis, and I would not put myself in that camp. I have done it on and off for 20 years, but my practice is solid, I would say, but it's not fancy. It's not fancy. But in our class, the amount of times when the teacher just says, right, anybody who wants to do a headstand, take the headstand. And all around me, I just see people kind of springing up. Like they're just kind of in a very relaxed position. And then suddenly there are these big beams of light just having that strength. So let's get into how this can help with your goals. The first thing is you have to assume the vision. And when I say assume, it's almost the sense of opening your eyes to the vision. Can you see yourself being able to do that? Is this a possibility for you? And a bonus one here is I work on the basis that if you really, really want to do something, it's kind of meant for you and it's possible. And when I think like that, it kind of takes the pressure off because I'm like, well, if I've thought about it, it's obviously meant for me. So hopefully all the stars will align. And sometimes that takes quite a while. Sometimes those stars are, a bit backwards and coming forwards. But I think about the amount of things that I don't want to do. There are so many things that I have no desire to do in this world, in this lifetime. And so the things that I feel really strongly about, and this is just an example, that there are lots of things, I really hope that they're meant for me. And sometimes you just need that Dutch courage, I guess, to get started. So number one is going to be about that vision. The second thing is to be committed to the process and to know that this is maybe going to take a while. And I think we can get stuck when we hear about overnight successes. Not quite sure how overnight they were, but you know what I mean. When we hear people suddenly going, and then I changed, and then I did the thing. Sometimes there's the temptation to kind of give up. Like if it doesn't happen the first time, or if you're still in the same position 2 or 3 weeks later, or a month later, or 6 months later, you can start to kind of get distracted by other things. And maybe you start to say like, look, I'm committing and this is not happening. This is not happening in the way that I thought. And I think if your vision is really strong, you have to be committed to that process no matter how long it's going to take, because it may take longer than you think. Another thing that I've really realized is I'm going to have to build some different muscles. I have really strong, in terms of my body, the stronger part of my body is definitely in my thighs and my arse. My glutes. And that is where I feel my strength. I had 2 quite chunky babies. My hips are quite strong. I can carry them around. I can do all of that. But my shoulder strength and my arm strength is, it definitely needs some work. And so I've now realized that I'm just going to have to build those muscles. And I'm just going to have to focus on doing those really, really small, tiny things that build all those small muscles, that gain that flexibility, that gain that strength. The fourth thing that I really want to talk about is I've realized that I'm going to have to give myself some stability. And so when I'm learning this, it's going to be a case sometimes where I'm going to need the wall. I'm going to need the wall to practice or work on my arm strength, or I might need some blocks, or I might need Matt to hold my legs up in the air and just be there as a kind of moral support. And I think this is really, really important in terms of your goals, of going at your own pace. Because you know what you need. You know where you've been and where you're going. You know what you need in order to feel safe. And I don't necessarily believe in this sink or swim thing, because there is this assumption that everybody who falls in the water will swim. Well, we know not everybody can swim. So depending on what's going on for you, you might need to build that confidence in yourself. And I know in my own situation, in terms of this yoga stand, is that I'm going to have to build that stability. I'm not upside down every minute of every day. I like to be on my feet. And so really cushioning that process is going to help me. And so when I work with clients, for example, sometimes there's that moment of like, I don't know, maybe I should just give up all of my income and go all in with this. And actually, everybody has different risk factors or risk comfort zones. And so this is really about thinking what is going to work for you and how can you support yourself in that process. The final thing I need to say is you need to trust the process. And I found this when I did another physical challenge, when I did Couch to 5K. I tried to second guess the process, and I just kept coming back and going, just follow the step by step. Like, they've written it for you. Experts have written it for you. So when I'm trusting that process, I'm going to trust that it's going to maybe take a little bit more time than I was first expecting. Or I'm going to trust that if I do all of these steps, I'll get there eventually. Yes, I might not get there in a month. Maybe I'll get there by the end of the year. But I have to be willing and open and curious. And I guess the bonus part of that trust process is you have to be open to other opportunities or other levels of support. So previously, I might not have looked at a arm strengthening work, kind of, video on YouTube or something. But now that I know I've got this vision, I might suddenly consider it and go, oh, I could do that. Or maybe I could lift some weights, or maybe I could get on a rowing machine, or any of those sorts of things. So I hope this has worked. I hope this has really reminded you of what it is that you're working towards. One final bonus is be really specific. I am saying a yoga headstand. I'm not just saying like I'm going to go to yoga more often, or I'm going to be more flexible or anything like that. I know what the end point is. And that's not necessarily like the other yoga stuff is great alongside this. This is a sort of separate goal. But it's really, really crucial that you know what that looks like. If you know what that postcode is, when you enter it into the sat nav, it's going to help you get there far more easily. I hope this has helped today. If you want help, support, accountability, a plan, a strategy, come on over to my website, nickyraby.com/work with me. I've got so many resources for you. I can do this work one-to-one with you as well, and it would be my absolute pleasure. I love doing this stuff. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you in the next one.